welcome into another Whoosh Weekly Roundup with me, Louie, where we go over what books I picked up from my local comic shop this week. So, I don't have any preambles or anything other than, if you're enjoying the content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps YouTube kind of push the videos out to other people who might also enjoy them. So please remember to do that if you are here. But, let's jump straight into the books. First up, we have Avengers Twilight. A weird kind of Elseworlds type story where the Avengers are kind of the bad guys, and I believe it's the Thunderbolts trying to combat them, kind of run by Captain America. So really cool. Also really great Miss Marvel cover. And it's the cover A for it, so I thought it was a really, really cool cover and worth definitely sharing here. So yeah, Avengers Twilight number 3. I think it's a 5-part miniseries if I remember correctly. But again, don't quote me on that, because I think in my last video I said Ultimate X-Men was coming out in April, and I'm pretty sure it's coming out this coming week. So keep an eye out for that. It's written by Peach Momoko. So I try my best to make sure everything's right, but sometimes, it's wrong, and it's okay though. Next up, we have What If Venom number 1. Clearly Venom has taken over as the Sorcerer Supreme, so pretty dope. Really, really cool cover, honestly. They kind of surprised me this week with the cover, so I can't lie. I'm super stoked about all of them, so that's pretty dope. Also, we have another really cool cover, Spider-Punk number 1. Well, Spider-Punk Arms Race number 1. And you may be familiar with Hobie Brown from Across the Spider-Verse, where he was an awesome, awesome integral character in that. He made sure that Ghost Spider / Spider-Gwen had her wristband to be able to go back and try to help Miles later, because he just kept picking off technology. He had some fun quotes, like shitting on the man already, talking about Peter B. Parker's baby. So it's cool that he's getting his own little spin-off. And a fun fact about this one is www.scottyyoung.com. He has an exclusive Scotty Young variant on there that you can pick up. I believe unsigned is about 25, and then there's shipping included, like that you have to include in that as well, so it's probably like 36 by the time it's all done. But if you're looking for that, it's on there. You can get a signed copy, I think for 36 before shipping. You can get a CGC signed authenticated one. I think it's 175. So definitely check that out if you're interested in the Scotty Young variant of it, or check out this book because it's pretty dope, and he was a great character in Across the Spider-Verse. So really, really cool. Next up, we have White Widow number 4. Again, I think they were trying really hard to build towards the Thunderbolts movie, because it was supposed to come out this year. So we have the Thunderbolts ongoing run. We have White Widow going on. So still trying to build that interest in those characters. And unfortunately, they had to push it back. They couldn't push back the series. So we're getting all of these. But again, another great cover. They really, really killed the cover game this week. So absolutely, absolutely love it. And yes, apologies. All of my books this week are Marvel related. Trying really hard to make sure I expand and cover some other areas. But if you know of any other books that aren't Marvel related that you think I'd be interested in, that I should read, that I should check out at least an issue of, send it my way. I'd be happy to read it. Matter of fact, if you send it this way, I will put it on the channel here and talk about it. So let me know. But the next book, and shocker, it's connected to Fall of the House of X, which is the main story that I'm really connecting with and really enjoying right now, is Iron Man number 15. There was a really cool, I believe it was 1 in 25 variant where Emma Frost was actually in a suit of Iron Man armor. But because it's a 1 in 25, usually the price of that is at least $50 to try to help the store recoup the cost of ordering 25 copies of a book that may not move. So here's the cover A. But really cool. I'm really enjoying like the kind of crossover with Iron Man, how his technology influenced the Sentinels and all of that. I think it's fantastic. So really, really cool. Really stoked. And well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah. So next up, let's delve into a little deeper into some of the books, and this one also is connected to Fall of the House of X, but I wanted to cover it a little bit more in depth because, I don't know, it's in the storyline, but it acknowledges that it's away from the storyline, sort of. and that is Cable number 2, where we have old Cable teaming up with young Cable, and they're trying to destroy this database of like mutant powers, mutant abilities, because a future this Cable came from saw everybody transformed essentially into beings of only energy, and how those mutant powers could kind of do that. And obviously Orcus is behind all of it, since they're behind everything, but his main goal is to stop that from happening, that future, that whatever he saw coming, to stop it. But he also has like young Cable, who still won't listen to him very much. Like, he doesn't have the techno-organic virus like Cable does, which helps him a lot. Obviously, you can see he's starting to get infected by the gargoyle, and the techno-organic virus actually kind of helps him fight that off, and he actually infects the gargoyle with it, so it kind of pushes it out of him for a little bit and freaks him out, so he runs away. But as you can see, young Cable over here does not have that. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and while not being directly connected to the Fall of the House of X, it does acknowledge that like they're doing their thing and I'm doing mine to try to protect the future. So, good read, very, very good read. Next up, very, very close week. Absolutely a close week for pick of the week, because both of these I've enjoyed. Again, neither of them will probably be a shocker that they came out and they became pick of the week based on prior discussions. But the runner-up is actually Resurrection of Magneto number 2, with this awesome X-Men 97 variant cover, which, if you don't know, X-Men 97 comes out on, I believe it's March 20th on Disney+. So 10 episodes. I don't know if they all drop at once, but they start to drop on that day. So if you haven't binge watched X-Men the Animated Series yet, get out there, do it. Fantastic. The show holds up. So doesn't Spider-Man the Animated Series. However, Iron Man does not hold up. That animated series from the 90s, as much as it was my favorite cartoon back then, does not. But anyway, Resurrection of Magneto, we see Storm continuing to try to help Magneto get out of the underworld, and Magneto is sitting there. He's talking about all these people who either died in his name, died because of him, and he doesn't deserve to be resurrected. He deserves to be punished. He wasn't a good person. Like, and then you have Storm coming through trying to help get him out of that. You get this brief glimpse of like Magneto passing a trial where he's supposed to get the key out of like purgatory, and it ends with him trying to use the key and falling further down before he can get out, I guess. But as he's going into that deeper and deeper depression about all the people that have died for him, died in his name, how he sacrificed Toad as like the scapegoat for the death of Wanda, Storm shows him all the people he helped save along the way and his kind of redemption arc there. And it's a really, really good story. Definitely check it out. There's a lot of deep things you can pull out of this story itself, and it's connected to the Fall of the House of X. But it's a story of a person who's not perfect, and how do you get beyond the imperfections to see like, yes, I've messed up. And in the comics, Magneto has done awful, horrible, irredeemable things, but he's also done really, really great things. And they don't offset. There's no way. You can't offset an absolutely horrible thing with an absolutely great thing. That's not how it works. But you can redeem yourself in some form or fashion along the way in life. Not just in comics, but in actual life. So it's cool that they're trying to cover that story. And again, obviously comics are a hyperbole, a maximum example of things. So clearly, you can't do half of the things Magneto's done and then come back from it and be like, no, I'm a good person now. Like, I get that. But as a society, second chances are a big thing. And sometimes people deserve them. And I don't know. It's a really, really cool story. I don't want to get on a soapbox about that. But, yeah, it's really, really cool. The themes of it are really, really great. So definitely check that out. But now, my pick of the week is Thrawn Alliances number 2. Another continuation of the story with jumping back and forth between Clone Wars era and the Empire era, where we see Thrawn teaming up with a young Anakin Skywalker investigating Padme being missing, versus Thrawn teaming up with Lord Vader back on Batuu, investigating a disturbance that the Emperor has noticed. And you see the two different approaches. Thrawn Consistently the same character throughout the whole thing. Anakin, different than Darth Vader, though. Obviously, based on experience, life events that happened that may or may not have traumatized certain people, like Vader. But it's really, really cool. It's really awesome because I think I mentioned this before, but Thrawn is one of the few people in the galaxy who was able to piece together that Anakin is Vader, and that's based strictly off of seeing some of the maneuvers he did while flying and realizing Anakin did those same things. So it's cool. He never like really gives away that he knows, but you know that he knows. And Thrawn is always a strategically thinking character that's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love Thrawn as a character. He's one of my favorites in all of Star Wars. So it was really cool again to see him in Ahsoka. He's great in Rebels, if you haven't had a chance to check that out yet. And all of the Thrawn books that are canon by Timothy Zahn are fantastic. Make sure to check them out. He does an amazing, amazing job. And as the person who created the character way back when, I think he's got just a deep appreciation for him. So, yeah, probably my only regret from going to Rhode Island Comic Con is he was there. I had the chance to meet him, and I just didn't have the time. So I kind of regret not being able to meet Timothy Zahn and like thanking him for making such a great, great character. But that's beside the point. So pick of the week, Thrawn Alliance is number 1. And again, if you've enjoyed the video, you're enjoying any of the other content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe below. And we'll catch you here next time on Whoosh.